and I understand my woman. I know when you're cool. I know when you're okay. I know when you're not. So it's an understanding that has to be the first thing in love, because it comes with love.
Yeah.
If we don't understand each other, we'll not be here.
Yeah.
We here.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, we love each other. We here.
We've had mountains to climb. We've had boulders to fight and throw away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we had to. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, our connection is tight. You know what I'm saying? We understand. You understand me, because if we didn't, it would have fallen to pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a go.
It's a go.
It's a go. So what's the next question?
Nurturing. Nurture. That's our last thing. Nurturing.
Nurturing.
Nurturing each other.
Yeah. If you have a dog, the bond you build. Quit laughing, babe. Yeah, for real. Let me tell you something. When you have a stop, baby. Okay. If you have a dog, when the dog was a little puppy, like a little puppy, the nurturing you're giving a dog, you know what you're building? You're building a strong bond.
With that dog. He gonna protect you.
He gonna protect you. He's gonna love you. He's not gonna ever let anything happen to you, because the nurturing you give the dog when it was little, that's what you're building a bond. Nurturing each other in relationship, it's a bond. You're building up a bond between each other that can never be broken.
And that's what I feel with this relationship.
When you have a plant, you plant a corn, or you plant a papaya, or you plant a sugar cane. What do you need to bring it up?
You gotta prune it, water it.
You
need
water
sunlight, all of that.
Those things you're doing, you're nurturing it. Because you're bringing it up.
We rubbing off the rough edges.
Exactly. So that is how it is for we human. We nurture each other. If you want to have an everlasting relationship, you nurture each other. Build a bond, a strong bond that can never be broken. So nurturing each other is very, 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 very important in a relationship in many ways.
Yeah. Because how are you? Now listen, I gotta figure this out. Okay, here we go. Is this how I want it though? I ain't how I want it. Hold on, y'all. I'm just really trying to, this whole thing here. All right, I guess this is good. All right, guys. So listen. I really wanted to do this show tonight because I seen some stuff within myself this last couple of weeks. Well, this last week in particular, I seen some stuff within myself, and I wanted to talk about this topic of what defines a marriage and the nuances of marriage. And that's why I started out with that video of me and my husband doing when we did the Valentine's Day show. And we just did all those different questions and he answered it. And I felt like that was just so profound of him. He is younger than me, but he has these moments where he just spits nothing but wisdom. And that was one of those moments, guys. I want to start out by saying marriage is ministry. Marriage is not something that should be taken lightly. Once you get married the correct way, you know what I'm saying? Once you, I want to say this. I want to take my time tonight. But once you commit to be in covenant with someone, how you doing, Scorp? I say nothing but love your way. Once you commit to be in covenant with someone, then you become part of an elite group. And I'm not saying that married people are better than single people. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you now are in covenant with another individual and you guys have something special. It's not like you just shacking up or it's boyfriend and girlfriend now. You guys actually have something special. And you guys are in covenant. And so now you going on this journey of a learning process and learning each other, and you're trying to figure out how to mash each other well. You said God loves married folks. Yes, he does. He loves married folks, and he loves single people. You know what I'm saying? Single people, they walk with God. They walk with God. They have a special bonding relationship with God. God is their everything. You understand what I'm saying? God is their priest holder. You understand what I'm saying? Once you get married, that man is the priest holder of that house. You understand? But to be married is not something, you just walking around dangling your ring around and all of that stuff. That's not what married people are all about, and that's not what marriage is about. When you take those vows, and I know a lot of people, they don't take the traditional vows like they used to. But when you take those vows, they talk about those vows. They talk about sickness and health, rich and poor. You know what I'm saying? The good times and the bad times. And you're saying it, and you all dialed up in your dress, and you got all your baby breath in your hair, and you're holding your croissant. You said single folks be adulterers. Yeah, but I mean, married people can be adulterers too. And you just sitting there. He got his tuxedo on, and then you all looking good. And y'all got like 15 people in your wedding. You got the flowers girls. Then came down there. Y'all got this. Y'all spent all this money for your families to come together and eat and watch you guys take your nuptials and all that good stuff. And you just caught up in the moment. You caught up in the fantasy of this big Jewish or Greek wedding, right? That movie. And so you just like, oh, I know when I had when we were in Nigeria, excuse me, it was like a fantasy to me. It was like euphoric almost, and it's like I'm chasing to get that feeling again. You know what I'm saying? Because this last year has simply been a whirlwind for me, and I'm so grateful for every moment that I experienced on this journey to marry this wonderful man. But after everybody is gone and the cake is gone and everybody ate up all the food and left, you know what I'm saying? And send out all the thank you cards. That's when the real work comes. That's when the true dedication comes. And I keep forgetting. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Anybody that's married or you've been married before and you want to speak on this topic, feel free. I'm going to copy the link and I am going to put it in the chat. Okay. Marriage is ministry, and you're going to hear me say that quite often throughout this live, because I want to drill in your head that marriage is not just about, oh, now I get to screw. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is not about, oh, now I got somebody to help me pay these bills and take the garbage out and all this stuff. I got somebody that's going to cook me meals every day. That's not what marriage is about. Marriage is about, you walk in this journey and you guys will be endlessly, notice I say endlessly trying to melt together, trying to figure each other out, trying to understand compromises, trying to understand each other and building something, building a legacy and building something together. You become a worker after you get married. You become a worker because now you got to build a life with this individual, and you got to figure out how to do that in unison. And that is the hard part. You say you're not coming up tonight. Okay, but I thank you for your support. I do, Score. So, when this happens, you know what I'm saying? When you in that first year, And this is my second marriage, guys. When you in that first year, you still got that euphoric feeling kind of lingering on for that first year. Child, I gotta go home, get to my husband. You know what I'm saying? Child, I gotta go home and cook for my husband. And I can't believe I'm married. You start dressing more conservative. You start dressing nice because I'm a wife now. I can't be doing that, girl. No, I can't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you dealing with this euphoric of I'm a wife. But I'm gonna tell you, around that second and third year, that's when reality kind of kicks in. Well, for me, it kind of kicked in quicker for my first marriage. I mean, like the first day, we had dated for 4 years before we got married, and the first day it was final. We were married, and he started moving his stuff in my drawers. I'm looking like, and even now I say my drawers. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking like, why is he moving stuff and putting stuff? Why is he doing it? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, we married now. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to, there's a deprogramming and a reprogramming that will have to take place in your mind when you become a married individual. It's not just you. And then all of a sudden, and this is more spiritual, when you do get married, you automatically feel ultimately responsible for this human being. I don't know what it is, but when you get married, you feel, I know I do. Now, I know I do. You feel ultimately, you feel responsible for this person emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, whatever it is. You feel responsible for this person. I was just talking to I just said on my live earlier today, I will walk on hot coal for my husband. I'll do it. You hear what I said? Because I feel responsible for this man, and he likewise feels responsible for me. Marriage is ministry. Marriage is just not some type of dry contractual agreement. People are getting married and getting divorced left and right like it's nothing. When you get married, you coming into a covenant with somebody. It's a binding thing spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and naturally. And that's why you need to be taking your time before you enter into these marriages. Some people just want to get married just to wear the dress and walk down the aisle and cut the cake and all that stuff. They just want to be a wife so much, but they don't really know what it entails to be a wife. You understand what I'm saying? You got to care. Sometimes you're gonna have to carry your husband emotionally. You have to put in your mind. I don't know what that is, grease or whatever. I've been cooking dressing, macaroni and cheese, and all that stuff. I don't know what that is, but it is a duty. It's almost like a duty. You know what I'm saying? And so this last couple of months, it has been with me, I've been reevaluating myself and just understanding the role that I need to play in this marriage, my wonderful marriage. And understanding that, just figuring out where I need to stand. So if you think of like a football game or a baseball game, you trying to gauge the trajectory of that ball and where it's going to land and where you need to stand. That's me. I want to know where am I needed at? How can I service you? Where do I need to be to catch the ball? Where do I need to secure the win? So this is the mindset that I've been having because I want us to win at all costs, and I want us to be successful at all costs. And a lot of times people don't want to talk about this because it's a little bit taboo because you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? But there will be times when you have to carry your husband, and there will be times when your husband most definitely will be carrying you. When my first marriage, I got sick and they didn't know what was wrong with me. I had to come off my job for a whole year. My ex-husband had to carry me for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? Which it was his responsibility. And if he had, and if that, and if that had happened to him, I would have stepped up and carried the household. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but yes, that's your responsibility because we're a team. We're a team. We're a team. And so when you become married, when you get married, it's like you go into this cocoon and you are within each other. And so this is what I'm learning. Wives, let's talk to the wives first. And then there's going to be some good stuff. And it's also going to be some transparent stuff for me. We have to, and I'm going to say this loud and clear for the wives in the back. And it's hitting me first. Trust and believe. It's hitting me first. Okay. As women, as wives, we have to protect our husband. How do we do that? And what do you mean by protecting him? Isn't it the husband's job to be there to protect him? Yes, it's his job. But when I'm saying protect, hey, Michael Stovall, I say nothing but love your way, sweetie, because you deserve it. As wives, and the Lord really chastised me on this. The Lord really chastised me on this and brought me correction on this. Because I'm going to tell you about this man right here. He has been nothing but nurturing to me, giving to me. He has guided me. This is how I know he's the one. He has guided me and was able to guide me with my big personality and my strong opinions. He has a way of putting me in my place. And I'm saying this carefully, and I don't want y'all to think that it's a derogatory term that I'm saying, but he has a way of walking in his priesthood that is wonderful. It is attractive. It is alluring. I love when he stands up and say, "This is what we're going to do," blah, 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 blah. But the Lord ministered to me, and he said, "You are to protect your husband. You are to defend your husband." How do wives defend their husbands? By closing your mouth. And this is something that I had to learn the hard way. And I'm not talking about the situation that just transpired. I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. But when we first started dating, when we first got engaged, hold on, you guys. When me and my husband first got engaged, I felt like I was his own PR person. I felt like I was his battle axe. I felt like I was his champion because I was fighting boulders. And that's why I played that video in the beginning of the show. I was fighting boulders because there's such a stigmatization on Nigerian men. Let's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? The first thing my family thought, oh, he's a scammer, this and that, 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 which he was not. And so it was my job to protect him. And I stood on business. Now, there were some times where I took a blunder and I took a misstep, and the Lord corrected me on that. Because first of all, this man is a really good man. You understand what I'm saying? He's a really good man. And as a wife, it was my job to protect him. That is the duty of a wife. You don't go carry your husband's information or your family life outside of that nucleus. And this is what I'm learning the hard way. You don't do that. As a wife, you protect your husband. You protect your home. Because what? Marriage is ministry. Once you are in covenant with somebody, you are their armor bearer. And you protect them. And our thing is, I got your back. He knows I has his back. And he has my back. Marriage is just not something like a surface thing. It has so many layers to it and so many complexities to it. And this is the way God has ordained it to be. Marriage is ministry. It is an institution. It is your own institution. And who are the occupants of this institution? You and him. And you should be working together. What happens when maybe along the way, one of you guys are maybe stronger emotionally than the other one? What happens? How do you deal with that? What happens when you see your priest, maybe breaking down and may need that emotional support of that woman? What happens? You be his champion. You be his champion. And this may not be for everybody tonight. This may not be, but I know this is a purposeful live and it's for somebody. because I felt so pressed to do this. And even now, the Lord is just feeding me information. You understand what I'm saying? So I know it's for somebody, you know what I'm saying, or for a couple that may be struggling. You, at all costs, be this man's champion. You don't stand on the sideline and laugh and point your finger at the people that's laughing at your wife. You don't stand on the sideline and point your finger and laugh with the people that's laughing at your husband. You be a champion. That's why I came out here the way that I came out here, because you're not going to come for my husband. Because I am his champion. I am his armor bearer. I am his protector. And he is mine. Do you understand what I'm saying? Marriage is ministry. When you see your mate or you know your husband or your wife falling emotionally, falling or maybe sick in their body, it is your job to pick up the weight, to still level off that marriage, to pick up the responsibility. Because we are a team. And this is what I tell my, we are a team. I got your back. I'm constantly encouraging him. He's constantly encouraging me. You know what I'm saying? I let him know I'm never going to fail on you. I'm never going to flake on you. I am going to be by your side. I'm not going to abandon you. And I use these type of words, these words to let him know, because when people hear abandonment, it's a lot of things attached to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be you got people who have rejection issues. They don't like to be rejected. I let him know from time to time, I'm not going to abandon you. I will not walk away from you. And this is the verbiage that I use. I will not leave you. Because people need to know that you are by their side. Your husband and your wife, they need to know that you are by their side. And he comes back with, I will never stop loving you. I'm going to always be there. He comes right back. And as a woman, I need my man, my priest, to tell me that. It makes me feel secure, especially when we are on the other side, opposite ends of the world. You understand what I'm saying? And so this is how we have been keeping our foundation strong. We have consulted the Lord together. We believe in fasting and praying over here. You understand what I'm saying? And we just believe in working at it. Now, have we had issues and spats and arguments? Of course. But you know what our core thing is? And we never deviate from that. Even if we do have a back and forth, nobody leaves. Ain't nobody leaving. Nobody leaves. I don't care what we say. I don't care what's transpired. Nobody's leaving. And we say it to each other, and we be dancing. Ain't nobody leaving. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We riding. Ain't nobody leaving. You understand what I'm saying? Your mate needs to know that you are, outside of God, a sure foundation, that they can trust you. One of the most major reasons why people get divorced is because they don't trust their mate. They feel like the trust is gone. They feel like the trust is gone. Why does that happen? They feel like the trust is gone for some reason. And when the trust is gone, or you feel like the trust is gone, then we start moving differently. We start being more controversial, not controversial, but we start being more confrontational. We start doubting decisions, and we start undermining each other, which can be really, really dangerous. I really want to play this audio that my husband sent me when we were in the middle of a heated discussion. And I played it today just to center me. I want to play it, but I didn't download it. But essentially, he was just telling me everything that he do every single day, just so he can communicate with me. And it almost brought tears to my eyes because I'm looking at this man. And if you look at him, honey, he don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? He could be doing so many other things that they do over there, but he doesn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? He doesn't veer off into that. But you know, he has to walk so many miles to get to the nearest charging station to charge his phone if they decide they want to turn off the light. He has to climb up to a mountain if the signals is not. And it was so funny because in the audio, he was like, "I am literally standing on a mountain just to talk to you." He said, "I'm going through all of this for you because I want to show you I love you." That to me meant the world. Let me tell you what happens when someone, an individual, whether they are man or woman, let me tell you, yeah, you don't owe anybody explanation. Yeah, you're right. But right now, when I'm doing Michael's, I'm ministering. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm ministering to someone. So when a person hears an individual that's in your life say, "I'm making sacrifices for you because I love you," that means the world, and it sends so many signals to that other individual. Number one, this person is into me. Number two, I can trust this person. Number three, he is by my side. 4, there's some value to me. 5, I have affected this person or influenced this person. This person loves me. He is doing things because of me. That sends a good signal to me. You understand what I'm saying? You say, yeah, everybody needs love. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? He knew that I needed that verbal affirmation. And in the beginning of the relationship, the very beginning of the relationship, he had to keep doing it over and over again. He had to keep proving himself, which he didn't have to. But for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I told him to do that. He intuitively knew to do that, to reassure me I ain't no scammer. I'm not here for your money. You understand what I'm saying? He would show me stuff, his personal stuff. He didn't have to do that, but he kept doing it over and over again. And I know I had to be quiet. And he kept saying, "You don't trust me. You don't trust me. You don't trust me." So there go that word trust again. So what happens when someone don't trust someone, or your mate doesn't trust you? You begin to question their authority. You begin to question them as an individual. You begin to question everything that they do. You begin to question the relationship. Have you made the right decision? You're suspicious of them all of the time. It's not a healthy, loving, nurturing atmosphere or home life because there's no trust there. As married people, you should be trusting each other. Communication is extremely important in a marriage. And I don't know how people can survive in a marriage without having communication. I don't know how people can survive without talking to each other and conveying your feelings to each other. In that moment where you are agitated and you're frustrated, how you doing, Gertrude? I said nothing but love your way. You don't sit on that frustration. Let me tell you what, and I'm talking to the women, the wives. I'm talking to the wives now. Okay? When you in a situation where you are frustrated, your husband did something or said something to you, and you are frustrated, that's the time to talk. Because you know what we sometimes do as women? We stew over it and we let it grow and fester on the inside. And next thing you know, we over there cutting up his shirts, burning his food on purpose, doing all type of ridiculous stuff that takes up time and stuff that you will have to explain later. Instead of sitting down and having a conversation, if this individual does not have the skills to articulate and communicate their feelings, make them. Because a marriage without communication is a marriage that is going to fail. If you cannot sit down and articulate your needs to me, and I can't, or you don't want me to tell you my needs, that's a problem. That's a problem. That means your value has went down to this individual. If a person don't care how you feel or why you upset and they don't want to talk about it, no, I'm not a talker. You always want to talk about something. Yeah, because we all have to get it and understand. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? You have to be able to communicate with each other. Notice I said with each other. As a wife, I go back to that, women, we are the protectors of our husbands. How do we protect our marriage and our husbands? By limiting the information that goes out from the household. Close your mouth. And I learned that the hard way these last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks, or whatever, how long it's been. In that instance, I let the guard down and I was not protecting my husband or our marriage. You cannot depend on other people to protect your marriage, because sometimes people won't have the level of integrity that you have. My husband was depending on me to protect him. Or in that private moment that you have with your husband, he's not expecting that moment to be shared outside of your home, your nucleus. So that in that respect, I let him down. Marriage is ministry. That is how you guard your house. If you are a wife on this live, or if you watching a replay, and if you are a husband, you should be protecting your wife. When your wife walk in the room and she walk in the room in the midst of you and whoever else in that room, everybody in that room should know that there's a queen walking in by your response. Well, if a person come in, your wife come in, you don't be talking about, hell, here she come now. No. That ain't your response. I don't care if y'all just had a fight somewhere in the car. When y'all come in, y'all all smiles and y'all are a united front. Me and my husband, we are a united front. Ain't nothing coming through here. And I mean that on everything. And that is the way it's supposed to be. You all should be each other's protection. You all should be having each other's back. Y'all shouldn't be having no doggone booby traps and explosions set up all in the house. Your wife come in there and all type of traps and everything. No, that's not what you are. And I'm speaking metaphorically, emotionally. You shouldn't be setting her up to fight her and argue with her when them doors close. You understand what I'm saying? That's not how you move. You have to think about it, unless you have children, is that you all are all that you all have. Your wife and your husband is supposed to be the first person you come to when you're making a decision. And I know that's a tough one. When you're getting ready to make a decision in life or make a decision, however, your husband or your wife should be the first individual that knows that. My husband checked me so hard about something. And he was right. He said, you should have came to me first in the first place. I'm your husband. He's absolutely right. How is somebody knowing something on a major scale about you and your husband don't know it first, or your wife don't know it first? That is inappropriate. You should not be making no major decisions without running it past your spouse first. I don't care if you are Beyonce. I don't care if you are, you sometimes successful women, and I'm harping on women. When we are successful and we have achieved a lot in life, and we have, we're entrepreneurs, or we are whatever it is, so rich or whatever it is. You still got to go to that man and discuss it. You're never too big for the marriage. Now, one individual is bigger than the marriage. The wife not bigger than the marriage, and the husband is not bigger than the marriage. The marriage come first. You don't put anything before that marriage. Man, if your wife say, I need you to stay home and see about me tonight, and I need you to tend to me, and I want us to build, you stay home. You don't say, baby, I know, but I'm going out to shoot pool. I'll be right back. I ain't gonna be gone long. You rushing out the door. And she's telling you, I want to engage with you. I want time with you, because time is the most valuable commodity that humans have. And you can tell a lot about a man by where he spent his time. Am I telling the truth? Am I telling the truth? No, you come back in the house, shut the door, take off the jacket, and spend time with your wife. Your husband should not be coming home and it ain't never no dinner made. Oh, I know y'all probably gonna throw me away after that. The house is always dirty. You can't never screw on the man. Did I say that? I said that. You always got to do something. He always got to wait on you. It's like you dangle stuff in front of your husband. If you do this, I'll do that. That ain't how it goes. The word of God says your body ain't yours no more. When you get married, that body belongs to that man, and that man's body belongs to you. That's scripture. It don't go just like that. But that's scripture. You might want to find that over in the New Testament. I want to say almost in Corinthians 2, maybe. I don't know. I don't quote me, but it's in there. You all both are servants. You all are servitude. To each other. It's called due benevolence to each other. Because now you guys are in this nucleus together. It's all about y'all. Let me tell y'all something. And this is bothering me so bad. And I don't know why it's bothering me, but it's bothering me so bad. I told my husband when he first come over here, we're going to be so into each other. We're going to be building ourselves to each other. We're going to kick out all of the outside noise, and we're going to be so into each other for a whole year. You know, so just it's just us. And we're going to work and build ourselves a life on top of what I have already started. You understand what I'm saying? Married people, be into each other. Why is it you spend the majority of your time outside of the house, away from each other? I don't get that. I don't need to talk to you every night for 5 and 6, 7 hours, and you got a husband at home. Because when mine get over here, I'm not talking to nobody. I ain't going nowhere without him. I'm not going to be sitting up at your house eating crimpets and tea. When I have a husband and a life to build. Married people, be into each other. Listen, let me tell you something. All this going here and going there separately, going there. It'll tell you turn around. Oh, he there. He went over there. He went over there. What are you doing to build up your household? If you spend more time at home building up your marriage and having dialogue and we do a self-check. Me and my husband, we do a marital self-check every now and then. We'll just put in the check, hey, do you love me? Do you still love me? Are you still into me? We're checking the temperature of our marriage to make sure, are you still good? I don't have time to be here, there, and everywhere. I want to make sure that this thing here is strong. And I'm not saying be a hermit and don't socialize with your friends. That's not what I'm saying. But when you are all the time gone away from your home and your wife is waiting on you to come home every night, or she done fell asleep because you got this event, you got that, you got this, you over there with your boys every night, you in the club every night, and you're not building your wife, your marriage is going to have problems eventually. Y'all going to become roommates. And I know what I'm talking about. Be into your wife. Be into your husband. Today, yesterday and today, because of what's going on in Nigeria, I have been extremely emotional, extremely needy, and didn't even care because I want him to know I need you. And he called them tantrums. You know, I got a video he made. He said, "Oh, you having a tantrum today?" He said, "I'm about to eat this banana." He started eating the banana. Oh, you about to have a tantrum? I sure am. Because when I don't get enough of you, the best way that I can, I get irritable. I told him before when we first got married, I said, I need a lot of attention. Tons of it. He do too. You know, babe, you ain't posted me in a while. We are into each other, and we know what gets us off. And I'm not talking about sexually, but emotionally, and what makes us feel safe, what makes us feel, you know, comfortable. It's like a warm blanket. You know, he's my security blanket outside of God. He's my security blanket. He makes me feel all right. And when I don't have that around consistently like I need it, I ain't good. I can't function. I'm so sorry. A lot, you know, did this women's live thing. I don't need a man to justify who I need mine. Because that's how we built it up. I need mine. I need to be dependent on mine. I need my husband. You got some wives, they'll tell you flat, if he leave, oh well, I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna be good because I signed up to be in covenant with this man. We think so little of the people who have signed up to walk through life with, and it is a shame before God. You got these people coming into your life to sign on a dotted line to walk through life somewhere. They are the MVP of your life outside of God, and they should be treated as such. Does that make sense? You ask somebody to come into your life and be with you for the rest of your life, and then you treat them like trash. You treat them like they are replaceable. That's not the will of God. My husband is a king. He runs over here in America, and he runs in Nigeria. He runs everything. And I am his queen. He calls me for advice. You know, and if I got more knowledge about the situation, then I take it and I'm in the lead now and I run it. I had to tell him something about a situation a while back. I said, I am now taking control of it. Okay, babe, I'm working with you. We work as a team. That is my team player. That is my all-star. That is my rock star. That is my MVP. And he is treated as such. And it's vice versa for me, and I am treated as such. The husband's job is to protect you. Men, your wife should not be stepping outside of the house and somebody done scratched the car up and put all type of crazy notes on her car. Being irresponsible as a man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Tying up loose ends before you decide you want to marry this person and step into somebody and step into their life. Not protecting the wife. You got baby mamas coming up disrespecting the wife. Not so. And nobody is disregarding the role of a mother of his child or the father of her son or whatever it is. But nobody should be able to come across and disrespect that marriage. It should be shut down. You're not going to dress my wife like that. You're not going to dress my husband like that. We're going to have a mature conversation about this child. But if we can't, then maybe we need to table this, because nobody is being disrespectful to my husband. Nobody is being disrespectful to my wife. That is the verbiage that people need to be saying. But it's almost in reverse. You'll see dudes come and tell the wife, hey, this is my baby mama. Shut your black people. It's ridiculous. And you to ask this woman to come into your world. Now, do that make sense? No, I'm not doing it. Do you hear what I say? So what happens when one is more stronger than the other one? My pastor said something so poignant one time. Well, I say, well, yeah, it was poignant to me. So yeah. She said, I thank God in her, she said she was talking about relationships and the marriages. She said, I thank God that the Lord will never let both of us be down at the same time. One is always up and one is down. You know what I'm saying? And that's a blessing. That's a blessing. As a husband and wife, we need each other. And that partner needs to know that you need them. I let him know today I'm depending on you. Don't forget, we're depending on you. Your family is depending on you to be strong and courageous today. That's how I talk to my man. Make sure that you're keeping my heart safe over there. Because it puts on his mind, I have to be responsible. It puts on her mind, I can't be out here flirting with my work husband. It ain't no work husband. It's not no work husband. I'm going to say it in the back for everybody who working at Ford and Chrysler and GM. It's not no work husband on the plant. That's disrespectful to your husband and your wife. As a wife, you should not be flirting in the faces of men. Not even if he drops something on the floor. You don't want that to be misconstrued for nothing. Am I telling the truth? Hey, Vanessa, I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it. You supposed to walk with respect. You supposed to walk with integrity. When you're not in your husband's presence, you are representing that marriage, and nobody should go back and be able to tell your husband anything inappropriately about you. That's why I wasn't worried when certain stuff got divulged, because my husband already knew. Because I'm a good wife. I wasn't worried at all. Didn't care. You think I wouldn't have a conversation like that to my husband? God forbid. Because I'm a good wife. And anything that may be said as me being inappropriate is a lie. I don't hang around other men that's not my husband. Do they try to hang around me? All the time. Do I shut it down? All the time. Because I'm married to this wonderful man right here. And he deserves a caliber of respect and integrity out of me. Just like I deserve the same thing. Do you understand? We do. You're right, Scorpio. We do. You said black women came up with that bull crap. Yeah, we do dumb stuff. Yeah, we do. You understand what I'm saying? You out here flirting with the supervisor like you ain't married. Talking about it's my work husband. Where? That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Your husband is your priest of the household. He is your king. And a lot of people don't like that type of talk, especially liberals and some feminists. You know, I'm a feminist and a traditional woman at the same time. Urban say I can't be that, but I can't. I've mastered it. You understand what I'm saying? Your husband is the king of the household. Now, do he get the right to be derogatory and treat you like a second-class citizen? Absolutely not. But he leaves that house. Now, it can work for him or against him. One thing about it, if he make a dumb decision, it's on him because he's a leader. But then there's also space within your marriage for team-oriented decisions. Vanessa, you love your husband. Guess what, girl? I love my husband too. I'm in love with my husband. You hear what I say? I love him, and I tell him every day I love him. I encourage my husband. By the time I get done talking to him, he feel like he can go fight dinosaurs. You hear what I say? Because I lift them up. And when you see your spouse with their chin down, you should be breaking your neck to try to lift his chin up. You become his biggest fan. You become her biggest fan. You are their cheerleader. Your wife is into something. She got a project going on. You're supposed to be supporting her 110%. If your husband is into something and doing something, honey, support him 110%. Be there for him. If ain't nobody cheering for him, he should be able to look to the side and see you cheering for him. You shouldn't be sitting over in the corner and laughing with the people talking about, child, that's going to fail. I don't know why he started doing that. And I don't care if the whole family talking about it. Oh, he's doing it. And we just trying to figure out how we're going to get it set up and all of that stuff. And we're so excited about it because we are a team. I don't care who talking about it. That's why when you go to talk about my husband, I'm coming out. I'm coming out here. That's my job. And I don't care what nobody say about, oh, you ain't got to keep on doing that. You ain't got to keep on saying that. As long as they keep coming for mine, you better believe I'm coming out. I'm going to be defending mine every single time. That's why I don't try to trigger myself. So I put certain things in place so it don't come across my face. Because if it so happens to slide across my face, I'm coming out. Because that's mine. You understand what I'm saying? And he was courageous and stood up and chose me, and I was courageous and stood up and chose him. So we fight for hours over here. I don't care what ain't worth it, what ain't worth it, and what is worth it. Because we got something going on. We have a bond going on. We got a foundation going on. We got a marriage going on, a covenant going on. We got something going on. So a lot of people don't know what it is to be loved real good and real hard and real healthy and real strong. I do. So we stand up for hours. My husband, no, babe. My husband's like, no, babe, just leave it be. No, babe, leave it alone. No, ain't we not leaving it alone. Because I'm not gonna have nothing tarnish my man. And that's how you should be thinking. You are a defender of what God has given you. And that's just where I'm at with it. Vanessa, you said I am my husband's biggest fan. He's right and left hand and his heart. His right and left hand and his heart. And he is mine. Absolutely. And that's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. A bunch of married women should not be fraternizing all of the time, spending all of your time with single women. And it's not that something wrong with them or that you're better than them. No, you just in a different demographic. When you are away for hours and hours away from your home, is things getting done? That's why I said I don't understand all of this free time that married women have, wives have. I don't understand all of this free time that husbands have to go and be here and be there, instead of being in your household, building your spouse or building your home up and engaging with your spouse. That's what they're there for. So why are you over there all the time? I can understand you got an engagement or, a community thing, or your job got something going on, or you just may want to hang out with your friends. I get all of that. But when you're doing this every day and you ain't bringing no energy home, something is wrong. I know I'm telling the truth. You gonna stay home or you gonna be alone. One of the two. Do you hear me? I don't play that. The marriage, the home is the battleground. That's the headquarters. Okay, it's time for you to come on in. You hear what I say? You're not single no more. You got to get out of that single-minded mentality. Once you get married, things are different now. It's different. And my husband, he told me, he said, "You're a wife now." And the first thing, because he know I'm a content creator, he know I run my mouth. He said, "I don't like to be embarrassed. I'll tell you that right now." He said, "Don't you come out here making no enemies. I don't want a whole bunch of enemies. Don't you come out here making a whole bunch of enemies." And I'm trying to explain to him, this is not what my channel is about, blah, 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 blah. And then here we go. We got this big old fiasco. And the first thing I was thinking about, I wasn't thinking about me because I know I can take care of myself and defend myself. The first thing I was thinking about is what's my husband. I don't want my husband to be embarrassed by this. It's hard when you're dealing with someone who doesn't have, and I'm not going, I don't want to go off into that, but it's hard when you dealing with somebody who it doesn't have the same like-mindedness as you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not being derogatory or a bad thing. But when somebody thinks different, say it like that. When somebody thinks differently than you, it's hard to manage the situation. And the only thing I'm thinking about in this time and in every time is, what will my husband think of this? Even though I know I have been carrying myself above reproach. You know what I'm saying? It's still too much negative energy out here. And this is not what my husband's about. This ain't what I'm about. But I'm a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I got to defend mine. You said my husband is my protector as well. Amen. So in my mind, I'm saying, am I protecting my husband in this moment? But see, it's hard when you cannot control other people, because people do what they want to do. They're not caring about protecting your privacy or protecting you as an individual. They're not caring about the blowback from this or how this affects my marriage. They don't care when they're doing all of this expose, divulging, you know. They're not caring about the blowback of how this is going to affect my marriage and the conversation that me and my husband got to have. They don't care because they're not wired like that. They're not in a situation where they carry somebody else's last name. But I am. So it's my responsibility to protect my husband in that regard. See, and that's how we should be thinking as wives, and husbands as well should be thinking about it like that too as well. It's nothing worse than walking in life thinking that you got a team player and you never had a team. It was never a team at all. They over here sabotaging you, and we supposed to be walking together as a team, and they over here sabotaging you. A marriage like that is going to fail every single time. Another nuance of marriage is that you both have to always be on the same page at all times. You both have to be on the same page at all times. Look at gotcha. Hey, Urban, I said nothing but love your way, sweetie pie, because you deserve it. And that's just one of the nuances of having a marriage. You got to be in agreement. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? You got to be in some form of agreement. Even if you guys share difference of opinion about something, that has to be discussed. And at the end of that discussion, you guys have to be on the same page, because there's nothing worse than confusion. When you try to navigate and move through situations, you guys got to be on the same page. No one should have their own hidden agenda. I'm gonna tell her, yeah, but I'm gonna flip it, and then that happened to me. That happened to me. I thought I had facilitated something. Thought it was being carried out, but my ex-husband had other thoughts, and he went left with it. And I'm trying to figure out what, and it was a big deal. And I'm trying to figure out what happened. Oh, it's all right. I said I was going. No, but we're supposed to be on the same page. You gotta have unity when you're walking together through life, especially as a married couple. And then another nuance of marriage is give each other grace. Give each other grace. If your husband have a big blunder, don't sit up there and laugh about it and talk about it and talk about the situation for 20 years to all his family. Hey, Looney, I sent nothing but love your way because you deserve it, bro. Give each other grace. Vanessa said me and my husband still finish each other's sentences. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, they say marriage people, they start to look like each other. I said, now, I don't know in my case because I'm dark skinned, he light skinned, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But give each other grace, especially when you see that your partner is having a hard time navigating through something that may be emotional or making a hard decision, or maybe they have a disagreement with somebody and they just try to navigate, or they just not themselves because of trauma or grief or loss, and they become a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? With you, give them grace and don't be hollering about my needs, my needs. I had to learn that. My needs. Your partner going through a whole catastrophic event, and you over here trying to figure out why they didn't check in. Or not that I ain't gonna use that because everybody should be checking in. But why they didn't cater to you that day? And they going through a whole you gotta learn. You have to do some deductive reasoning. You have to be considerate of each other and give each other grace. Vanessa groomed her husband. My brother have lost his boy. Oh my God! Now, Urban, don't you come here bringing that friction. Don't you do that. With those sunglasses on. Don't you come here bringing that friction. Give each other grace and learn how to be there for one another. Be present in the marriage. Don't just be don't just be dismissive of each other and dismissive of each other's needs and wants. Don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna play this clip again because it kind of falls in line of what I just said. So this clip I'm about to show you is from my husband's, from our Valentine's Day show that we did last year. Wait, it's true. What are you talking about? I don't know what Urban talking about. He always coming here bringing something. All right, watch this, guys.
And I understand my woman. I know when you're cool. I know when you're okay. I know when you're not. So it's an understanding that has to be the first thing in love, because it comes with love.
Yeah.
If we don't understand each other, we'll not be here.
Yeah.
We here.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, we love each other. We here.
We've had mountains to climb. We've had mountains to climb. We've had boulders to fight and throw away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
we had to. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, our connection is tight. You know what I'm saying? We understand. You understand me, because if we didn't, it would have fallen to pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
okay.
It's a go.
It's a go. It's a go.
It's a go. So what's the next question?
Nurturing. Nurture. That's our last thing. Nurturing.
Nurturing.
Nurturing each other.
Yeah. If you have a dog, the bond you build. Quit laughing, babe. Yeah, for real. Let me tell you something. When you have a stop, baby. Okay. If you have a dog, when the dog was a little puppy, like a little puppy, the nurturing you're giving the dog, you know what you're building? You're building a strong bond.
With that dog. He gonna protect you.
He gonna protect you. He's gonna love you. He's not gonna ever let anything happen to you, because the nurturing you give the dog when it was little, that's what you're building a bond. Nurturing each other in relationship is It's a bond. You're building up a bond between each other that can never be broken.
That can never be broken. And that's what I feel with this relationship.
When you have a plant, you plant a corn, or you plant a papaya, or you plant a sugar cane. What do you need to bring it up?
You gotta prune it, water it,
you
need
water
sunlight, all of that.
Those things you're doing, what you're doing, you're nurturing it. Because you're bringing it up.
We rubbing off the rough edges.
Exactly. So that is how it is for we humans. We nurture each other. If you want to have an everlasting relationship, you nurture each other. Build a bond, a strong bond that can never be broken. So nurturing each other is very, 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 very important in the relationship.
He said nurturing each other is very, very, very important in a relationship. Let me tell you something, Urban. We were courting each other. We were dating. How you doing, Michael Stovall? Welcome to the show. Listen, Urban, I can wear what I want to wear when I was trying to get my husband. You understand what I'm saying? The dress is called a kenta something, but it was African. So I wore it. Hey, Michael, how you doing? What do you have to add to tonight's topic?
You talking about your husband coming here?
So we're talking. So the show tonight is about the nuances of marriage and how couples can sustain a healthy marriage.
Well, for me, I'm very jealous-hearted, and because I'm going through a long-distance relationship right now myself, right?
Okay.
And the things that I do, I'm a flirt, right?
Okay.
And I was just telling her that earlier tonight. I told her how when I was taking a lady friend of mine, Miss Gloria, picked her up to the laundromat, right? And this lady up there, I do my little flirting and stuff, right? And, I'm like, hey, what's up, baby mama? I call all the women baby mama, right?
Okay.
And so, I mean, it's like, because the lady that works at the beauty salon with her, I started that with her, right? Well, started with her, but that, and it's kind of weird now because I'm like, she's like, but your work, well, I haven't had child support in over 45 years. She said, our son is this, that, and the other, and our grandkids and everything. And I'm looking at her like, are you serious? But I'm,
because you have flirted with her. Now I'm gonna tell you something, Michael. Let me tell you something with women. Even though we know we're in a platonic relationship with you, when men go to flirting and playing that little game, signals and stuff, everything start going off over in our mind. I wonder why he's doing that. I wonder why he's saying that. He must like me. Do I got a chance? And then we start building this whole scenario, this whole alternate reality in our mind. So every time we see you, we feel in some kind of way because you playful with that. That's why you have to be careful especially if you're in a relationship, because women are receptors. You understand what I'm saying? We receive those signals, although you don't mean it to be a signal. But by you flirting with her, it's like, is he seeing? Have I caught his eye on some level? Is that why he's flirting with me? So you have to be careful with that, especially if you're involved in a relationship with somebody else.
Yeah. But see, you know what, Queen Boo? That's how I can be honest with her. Now, with me, she said, now just imagine if I was up here doing that. How would you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't appreciate it because I'm still thinking that she probably seen some, but I know she's not deep down in my heart. You know what I'm saying? But it's my own insecurities. You know what I'm saying?
Because you a dude, and you know how dudes move, but you got to understand women don't move like dudes. You got some women that are exception to the rule, But if y'all really into each other, then she's most likely not cheating on you.
Yeah. Well, that's what she say. I mean, I don't go off what she say, but and then when I went to the laundromat, right, this is a different situation. And the lady, she just started hugging me and stuff. And I'm like, she's like, you, because I told her I celebrated Thanksgiving by myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you can call me and come and pick up some blouses. The way that she held me, I was like, I felt uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because knowing that I'm in a relationship, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I felt.
But go ahead, Mike. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
I just felt uncomfortable because I know that's a form of cheating. The way that she held on to me, like, you know, like we was in a relationship.
It was 2 seconds too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 seconds too long. Vanessa says, no, Urban, we groom each other. That's why we finish each other's sentences. Vanessa spoke to you, say, hey, Michael, my YouTube brother. Vanessa said, you can't play flirt with anybody unless you have a woman that play flirt as well. I don't know about that.
I ain't going for that one though.
Yeah, I can't get with it. I don't like it. Urban, you said so. You trying to bag them and tag them? That's respectable. Yeah, in this case, it was. But you know, to be honest, Nigerians are very conservative in their dress, especially when I went over to Nigeria. You know, we had a companion that assisted us along the way, and as I was when it was time for us to go out in public, they would address my clothing to make sure I wasn't too exposed because they don't believe in all of that. But the dress I had on was a little bit too small, Urban, okay? But I still wore it because it was Valentine's Day. You understand what I'm saying, Urban? Don't come for me. Don't come for me, Urban. He said he got you, Vanessa. Yeah, so you got to be careful with that flirting, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Because no, you should be making no other woman feel special than the one that you are interested in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's just my personality.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel it is flirting if I'm telling my significant other that what I'm doing, though.
I mean, you telling her that you flirted. So if you're flirting, you know what I'm saying? But what you're saying is you don't feel like it's wrong if you're telling your significant other that you're doing it.
Yeah, because I'm just joking though.
Yeah, you gotta watch out with that charismatic personality. You know what I'm saying? Queen, I have nothing to say. I'm shocked, Urban, because you always got something to say. You know, when I listen to you, Michael, I be wondering, have you ever did you ever work at a radio station?
No. A lot of people say that I have a radio voice.
Yeah.
I'm a school bus driver when I want to go to work. I just don't do the kids no more because you know they out the chain. So I told them at the bus company, if you see my one video where I had my bus parked in front of my house, everybody can't bring the bus home. I've been with them for a long time. And I just can't do the kids no more because I'm like, now, if you have like chaperones or something that's going on the trip, other than that, I'm not driving anymore. You know, and my shoulder's messed up too. So turn that big old bus because it's like.
I've heard of that. I've heard of truck drivers who have like upper body shoulder issues.
Yeah,
I guess y'all do the same motion all the time. That that's a lot happen with teachers because they do the same motion all the time. Because I got tendonitis in my elbow for some reason, but I don't know if it's from lifting my work bag or whatever. Type it. I don't know what it is, but that same motion over and over again will give you tendonitis. So guys, I hope that you guys are enjoying this. I am really enjoying this conversation. Just you become your mental becomes a little bit different. The way you think and move around becomes different when you become married, because you got to think about you're representing not just yourself, but you're representing your spouse too as well, and your household. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be careful what you say, and I'm learning this the hard way. I am learning this in real time. as we speak, I'm learning that you have to be careful what you say and what you divulge with your household. The pillow, what do they call that? The bed pillow talks have to stay right there in the bedroom. You understand what I'm saying? Your best friend or your good friend should not be knowing sacred, secret things about your husband. I'm learning this in real time, guys. This is why I'm saying this. Should not be knowing sacred, secret things, personal things about your mate. And that goes for your wife and your husband, because you are breaching the covenant when you do that. Nobody outside of your marriage should be knowing personal, private things about your spouse. I had to learn this the hard way. But it's about protecting the marriage, protecting the sanctity of your marriage. And this is keeping your husband from looking at you and losing that respect for you. You know what I'm saying? How could you do this? How could you say this? Why do these people know this? These are the questions that you're going to be coming to when you start doing stuff like that and just living your life vicariously and not respecting the marriage. You have to think about that. Even if that's your best friend or even if that's your girl, you know what I'm saying? Certain things that happen in the household is supposed to stay in the household. Because guess what? You two have a thing going on. Y'all having a party going on and ain't nobody else invited but you two. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the way it should be. Pillow talk is the number one cause of women divorcing men. And vice versa, Urban. It's like you don't respect your husband. You don't respect the marriage. He don't respect his wife. He don't respect the marriage when you go out divulging you guys' secrets. I know somebody that they went and they was telling that girl, "Ooh, my husband, he sure enough know how to do this. He sure take care of me in the bedroom. He know how to. Oh, he's so good." And her friend actually tried to go sleep with her husband. If you got a champion, don't let everybody know. You understand? They're gonna be showing up at your door when you go to work. You understand what I'm saying? Or they're gonna be trying to, so you just gotta be careful with that. You said pillow talking is the number one. It's the number one. Pillow talking is the number one cause of women falling for simps. You and his simps. I don't like that word, Urban. I think every man got potential to be rock stars. Urban. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Do you understand what I'm saying? Keep the marriage, keep it safe, guys. Keep it safe. You understand what I'm saying? Now, one more nuance. I said one more, but another nuance of marriage is knowing when to bow out. And I'm not saying out of the marriage, but knowing when to forfeit a win. You don't have to win every time. Do you understand? Does that make sense? You don't have to win every time in the marriage, in the argument, in whatever, that control struggle that sometimes we have as men and wives. You don't have to win. Sometimes it's a simple, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Sometimes people just need that win. Sometimes you just got to give them that win. You just got to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Because what you going to do? Go back and forth and argue, and y'all just hitting brick wall. That is not good for the marriage. That starts to build resentment. You said more of the story, stop pillow talking, period. Absolutely. No. You should be able to share confidences with your wife or your husband. I disagree with that, Urban. So, Michael, what do you have to weigh in on that? Should you be divulging pillow talk information?
No, because I believe what goes on in the bedroom is supposed to stay in the bedroom. I mean, because if me and my significant other swinging from the chandeliers or what have you, I'm not going to go to work until the people at my job that me and my wife are swinging from the chandelier. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Tarzan and she Jane, right? A lot of things that stuff that goes on in the bedroom should stay in the bedroom. You know. Now if I was married, I dang on the show would not be tell nobody what I do in my bedroom, cause that's how a lot of people get caught up. You know, that pillow talk, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't the type of person that's gonna go and let you know what I'm doing in my bedroom. That's kind of creepy to me though.
Yeah. Okay. So now on the other side of that, you have individuals who, they with their bestie, they with their girl, so and so girl, and you really consider these people to be solid. You know what I'm saying? That is one. Even with that, that's still a mistake. And so of course, everybody know, I learned that the hard way these last couple of months. You understand what I'm saying? And so, but what that has taught me is that as a wife, those things cannot happen again. As a wife, I have to protect my husband. You know what I'm saying? And it brings maturity and it teaches you marriage. When you first get married to somebody, you don't know everything right off. You know what I'm saying? You don't know everything about marriage. You don't know the do's and don'ts of marriage. You don't know that individual 100%. You may think you knew him or knew her enough to get married, but you really not gonna really know that person really, really well until about the 7th year of marriage. Trust and believe. That's when the real people come out. That's when
How many years married?
Huh?
How many years?
Oh, in my first marriage, I was married 7 years.
And
what you talking about now? So this marriage, I've been married for 1 year. We've been together for 2 years, but we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary.
I'm talking about the comment, the statement you just made when you said that you really can't get comfortable with a person until you reach how long in the relationship?
That's 7th year, because I mean, the first 3 years, you guys are just getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? You just those first several years, you're just really getting to know each other, and in some ways, they still keeping that facade up. Then you start around about that 5th year, you start getting used to each other. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all you getting used to who they is moving around the house. Then you get comfortable with them, and then they start letting their guards down, and you get to see who these people are really, who they really are and what they're into and all that stuff. And you guys are really common with each other. Maybe y'all done had some kids, you know what I'm saying? And life is his life. And, and so it's that 7 year itch. You know what I'm saying? If you can make it the first 2 years, you're doing something.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of enjoy the relationship.
No, hold on one second, Michael. What are you talking about, Urban? So wait, well, Mike pretty much said the same thing, and you agree with him. But when I said it, you gave pushback. What is you talking about? Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
Like with me, right? I mean, I've been a loner pretty much all my life, right? And I've always had my own places. And, so I'm very comfortable in the long distance relationship that I'm currently in, right? And it's like, I mean, because we talk on the phone all day, every day, fall asleep, wake up. I mean, the phone never ends, you know what I'm saying? And I had to let her know today, I was like, hey, I missed the phone call. I missed money, yeah, I'm scared. And thank God I saw the phone and she had just called a minute prior. Miss Gloria, the lady I'll be taking around and stuff, my 75-year-old lady friend. And I'm like, shit, you can't make no money now. We got in these calls when I start going to sleep, But I enjoy the rest. I know she's not doing nothing. And I'm pretty sure she know that I'm not doing that. She know I ain't doing nothing, but I'm just a flirt, So I really do.
Is the relationship new?
No, I've been messing with her about 3 years now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Y'all just got that. So why you ain't got now, Michael? Why you ain't got down on that knee?
Well, because she's already been married twice, and I talked about it. But she just, and I'm comfortable with that too. I'm cool the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Okay. Well, hey,
but
I don't want to pry too deep. I don't want to pry too deep. But I'm the type of person, if this is it for you, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about your taste and what you're into and what what's acceptable for you. And if that's good for y'all, then that's good for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But for me, if you in it now with this my first marriage, we waited 4 years to get married, and I'm like, we should be getting married. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to see if I was the one. You know what I'm saying? With the second marriage, I chose to go the fast approach because I felt so hard for my husband. I just knew that this is what I wanted to do, and we did it, and I felt good about it. You know what I'm saying? I felt good about it, and so it is what it is. You taking a chance either way, and I'm not saying a reckless chance or anything like that. You taking a well-informed, well-vetted chance, but it's still a chance because you don't know what's going to happen next year. You know what I'm saying, or year after that. But that's where that trust comes in. But if y'all good, if you like it, I love it.
I had to ask you this question. I don't know. I think I saw something because I can see. I mean, Queen, you are a very intelligent woman. I can see that you articulate your words, and you are a friend type person. You know what I'm saying? And I do. I mean, to see you in situations that you was in within the last couple of weeks and stuff like that. I was really like, cause, I said some crazy stuff, but don't not to pay me no attention. But I really felt bad for you, right? And but I mean, I just have to ask this. I mean, I think I've seen some on YouTube, but you can't believe everything on YouTube, right? But is the president sending people to Nigeria? They are Christian.
Well, he has threatened to do so if the current government doesn't comply in keeping the people safe there. So right now they are literally in civil unrest. My husband had to relocate his family to a different village because this extremist Islamic group is coming to terrorize different tribes that are Christian. And they're doing that because our president, threatened to come in and take them out if they continue to persecute Christians. And they said if Donald Trump comes, it's gonna be a massacre. We're gonna be killing Christians. Well, they had already been kidnapping so bad. That's why they were in a situation like that from the beginning. So it has picked up tremendously. They are everywhere now. They were like in the southern region. They are now in the southern, eastern, northern regions of Nigeria. They have reached the capital, and people are literally running in the streets. So what my husband's village has done is they're trying to secure like militias to protect them. And they basically get machetes and guns to protect themselves. And so they take shifts, it's just a whole big thing. But the president has said if they don't get this under control, he will be sending in troops. And he did direct the Department of Justice to ready themselves. And I said this earlier today. The Army gave out that lobster in a steak meal. And so when they do that, then they getting ready to deploy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I don't know how to ask this question, but
Go ahead.
me.
You don't have to feel no restriction over here. I'll let you know if I'm gonna answer it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you're not planning on going over there no time soon, right?
No, we're not. This is what I want people to understand, Michael. I am not an incompetent person. In that moment where I said I was going back, yeah, I was going back because it was safe to go back. When we understood that it was not safe to go back, me and my husband made a conscious decision to say, hey, no, this is not an appropriate time. So no, I will, and I will not be going right now. Why would I do that? Why would I risk my husband who lives 5 hours away from the airport to travel to come and get me from the airport? He will be literally risking his life. So no, we're not doing that. I won't be over there until it's safe.
Okay. I mean, I was, I was like, because love will make you do some strange things. You know what I'm saying?
But the moment that it do become safe, yes, I will be on the first plane.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, when I saw you crying on your video the other day, I mean, I don't want to get into that situation, but I know you. I mean, I know that you were a friend to that person, right? Mm-hmm. And for that, I mean, I saw the whole situation unfold. You were done unfairly, very unfairly. I talked about it on my channel. You didn't deserve that. You're better than that. But for somebody that is so self-centered and stuck on themselves as this other person is, right? I'm like, this dude, what's wrong with this person? You know what I'm saying? So I championed.
Let me say this. Let me say this. You have to understand that there's a difference, what I'm saying, between what goes on YouTube and what goes on behind the scenes. And I've made a conscious decision that I'm not gonna make my channel we're not gonna continue to drag it back and forth, but I am going to answer your question. Okay. So the last live that I did, towards the end, I did get quite emotional because not necessarily because of what has been done to me, but the blow and the residual things that has been happening to my family because of this. Okay, the pain and the things that have to be repaired because of what happened. It just came to a head towards the end of the video that one individual caused this, or my response may have triggered him to do this, or I caused this. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking accountability for my actions too. You know what I'm saying? But it's emotional because there's two separate things going on. I'm looking at the relationship that's represented outside of YouTube that we had that has been obliterated and it will not ever be put back together again. And then I'm also looking at what's happening on YouTube, and people are watching and seeing this, and other YouTube content creators are getting grazed or or is insulted because of this. It's a big old thing that should not be happening. And it's only because I thought someone knew me. I thought they knew I was better than that. And I can't believe that you know who I am for real outside of YouTube. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know who I am for real, and I mean you no harm.
Right.
And I didn't understand why my word couldn't just be took at truth value when I've always taken that word. But anywho, so I got kind of emotional with that because I was looking at the whole thing in retrospect and the whole thing as it is now. And it was upsetting because even now, and I said that at the end of the live, and that's what really got me upset. Somebody said that this individual was in harm's way or was somewhere laid out in the street. I will get up and go to them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just not this back and forth and this whole thing of YouTube and my content creators or my subscribers and their subscribers and the comments. And so it's not even about that. It's about friendship.
Yeah.
So does that answer the question? Vanessa said you do not deserve any of that disrespect. I agree. But it is what it is right now.
But I do want to say this in your defense, not to keep dragging it back and forth, because I mean, we didn't even have to do this. I could have texted you or something like that. But anyhow, not to make it personal, nothing like that, because But anyhow, when you went up on that person's panel, this person said that you said that you didn't like the woman or something to that effect, right? And
well, I'm gonna clear this up. Hey, Mike, this is gonna be the last time I clear this up. Okay. They said that I told them behind the scenes that I didn't like this person, and then they also said, and then I said, well, I said in another instance, I said, well, I don't think that she likes me, and he said, no, she likes you. That did happen, but he also said on his live that I said behind the scenes that I did not like this individual. That simply was not true. I don't know this lady, and I keep on saying it over and over again. I don't have an issue with this woman, and to this day, I don't have an issue with her at all. I don't. The video is in my shorts where he said it, and I believe that he doesn't remember that he said it. I'm quite sure he doesn't remember that he said it. But he did say it, and that's what I was trying to convey to him, that you did say that. It wasn't that I was saying, oh, you liar, you didn't. No, I was trying to say, hey, Michael, no, you did say that. So you see how that context is a little bit different, and just me trying to get clarity right there, in opposed to me saying, yes, you did say it. That's a different context. That's a different connotation. You understand what I'm saying? So I was trying to get to him to say, no, Michael, you did say that. I just played the video. And it's still there to this day.
Yeah. I mean, but darn that. I want to say congratulations to you for being such an amazing teacher. I believe that teachers and bus drivers
Michael, you said that I got in through some type of dummy program, and that they just let me in. That's what you said.
You got to pull the receipts on that. So I didn't say. I promise I didn't say that, baby. You got to pull some receipts. But being that we're
I'm gonna go get them. I'm gonna go get them.
Don't do that, baby. I
was just playing with you. I'm not gonna go get them. Hey, brilliant Libra, how you doing? I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it.
But on some real, I respect you to the highest of high. Anytime we dealing with kids in our field, baby, you got to be way stronger than me. Because, hey, let me tell you this one story, Queen. I was driving for a middle school, right? I was doing a late activity, right? And I had like about maybe, probably about 15, 20 of them on the bus, late activity, right? They might add in school suspension or whatever they was on there for. And they just kept cussing. And I said, I respect you so much for being a school teacher. I really do. Because people don't understand. Just imagine, I would get it before you because I'm the one that's picking them up. Well,
it's different now. The classroom doesn't look the same anymore because we have all these children from COVID with multiple delays and dysfunctions and stuff. So it doesn't look. It's not the same. If you could get information in them for 15 minutes, you're doing amazing work. So it's just they're really now starting to see it more prevalent, and now they're trying to address it. But we're gonna have to have psychologists and psychiatrists. That ain't right. Psychologists and psychiatrists. We're gonna have them on. We're gonna have to have them on site because it's you spending 20 minutes just trying to reframe somebody, and you're supposed to be teaching. So that's where we at now, in education.
But look, this is what made me not want to go back driving full time. Is for somebody because I'm the type of person that. Boy, you're not sitting in the seat with that girl because I had got shell shocked one time, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, I know this girl's stop is at the next stop. Because, when they get on the bus, you generally know what stops you have to go to once you learn your route, right? And the kids. And I said, I know she on because I had like two boys left and that girl. And I'm like, I know she on here, And I started looking at my student mirror. The student one mirror is that big mirror, the student mirror, right? They're like a rear view mirror. And I know she's on here. And so I happened, all of a sudden, when I got closer to her stop, her head came up out of the seat.
What?
I promise to God, strike me dead when I get in my car and go to the store in the morning. Look. And I said,
oh Lord.
And the boy was over there by the window like he was in a coma. I thought he was asleep. I'm not lying.
My God.
I'm not lying.
Jeez.
And
Oh
so
my God.
at that point, I said, boys on one side, girls on the other side. And you
that's
know,
how it should be.
Yeah, because I mean, I wasn't tripping at first because I didn't think that nothing would trip.
Uh-huh.
So I put one kids off my bus, and they said, "Ice Mike, you can't put the kids off the bus." I said, and she said, because my supervisor asked me that one day, she said, "Ice Mike, did you put 2 girls off your bus?" I said, "I sure did." And she's like, "Mike, you can't do that," because I didn't know. And she said, "Why'd you put them off?" I said, "Anytime you feel that you're growner than me, you're going to get up off this bus. If I tell you once, twice, it's all you. You can't put them off the bus." I said, "You want to with them?"
Oh, did she explain to you that the children were in our custody at the time? Once the parents signed them in, they're in our custody.
I
know.
But I didn't care at that point, because if I tell you something and you continuously doing it, you're going to get up off of here. I'll have to lose my job. I have a CDL Class B air brake student passenger endorsement. I'm going to get another one, okay? If I got to go drive a trash truck, that's even better, right? And I'll be driving. I have 2 throwers on the back, right? Okay, so, but that one situation, and when I seen that girl, and so going back to how dangerous it is to be a bus driver or a school teacher nowadays, like I say, I'm the first one that they see. They might have their thumper on them. I don't have no wand to wand them kids when they get in and off the bus. You know what I'm saying? So if he got mad at me because I said, "You're not sitting with that girl," he could have did me in the back of my head while I'm driving that school bus. I said, "You're not sitting with that girl."
You just never know what these kids is coming to school with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You do. I always said that the bus drivers need to have like a protective guard. You know what I'm saying? Like glass or something like that. A brilliant Libra said, "Queen and the kids are now self-medicating with vapes. They are. We and those whips in their nostrils, the nitrous oxide." You're absolutely right. The kids that have returned post C19 are way different. They are absolutely way different. And I was in a conference with my peers, and I stood up and trust me, believe, I was like maybe 1 or 2 of the black dots that was in the room. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I told them what's going to happen, because now they're telling us that we have to prioritize autistic children, that they get first choice for enrollment in my particular program. They have to come first before the main general educational children. I said, so are you guys going to be sending help and resources for us to teach in our classroom? Because I didn't go to school for special education. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're telling me that special education children can now acclimate themselves with general population children, what's happening here? Are you going to send us back to get retrained? Are you sending us back to get special ed education? What are y'all doing? How are we going to manage this classroom? Because when I'm dealing with this one kid, who's going to help deal with the other 9 kids? So that's where we at in education right now. But yeah, they're coming in high. They're selling drugs in middle school. They're doing it all. They're doing it all. And we're supposed to be their doctor. We're supposed to be their nurse. We're supposed to be their teacher, their mother. We got to be it all to them. You understand? She said, "Vanessa, I have 2 channels. It's always me. If I use a brilliant, a Brill, the Libra, or a brilliant blessed mess, or any variation, the name between both channels." I think, brilliant. I thank you for supporting the channel. I've been seeing you support the channel. A brilliant. I'm gonna ask you a question because I am interested too. You are hitting the bullseye. Thank you. I'm interested. Can I just say this? Did I share one of your videos the other day? That way I know your other channel. Because if I did, all I want to say is you are a how can I say this? A verbal genius. Oh, if I didn't, then disregard that. You said I just was wondering because your name is fresh to me. No, I've been seeing her, Vanessa. She's been supporting the channel. I've been seeing her. Yes. You said that they are using and selling drugs in high school. Yes. Sex and all of that. They're doing it, and you saying to yourself, how do these kids get like that? They just are. There's no answer. I'm quite sure they're doing research, and we'll get the statistics of these COVID children probably maybe in the next 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But they just are. They're raising themselves because mom and daddy got to work all day. You know what I'm saying? And they just are. They have been pre-exposed to so much technology and so much exposure to social media. You know what I'm saying? That social media is not forming these people in how they are behaving and the verbiage. I had somebody, one of the kids was calling all the kids big back in my classroom and bro. They was calling me bro, and I said, you don't talk to me like that. I'm not your bro, and you're gonna talk correctly in here. And then the parents come in and they just like, I don't know where he get that from. He's getting it from what you're putting in front of him, whether it's a TV, whether it's a laptop, whether it's your conversation, whatever you put in front of this kid, he's absorbing it. And we done got off topic. But
Queen, let me say this right quick, boo. Hey, now I was picking up like the elementary kids this one morning, right? Well, we going to the end, right? It was a Friday, right? And I normally get the kids treats every Friday, you know. I tell some to get some, but that wasn't me. I gave all of them some treats. I was buying Snicker bars, you know, the mixed bags of chocolates and stuff, Twix and all that stuff. But anyhow, so I walked my bus before I opened up. I mean, when I tell you at the projects, the first stop, I had well over 50 plus kids getting on the bus at that first stop, right? And then I had like 2 more stops and then heading on to the school. And when I say that bus was jam packed, I told them, man, you need to put another bus on this stop. But anyway, that's here nor there. So when I walked my bus that Friday, right? And at the last seat in the back, and I look, because I make sure there wasn't no paper or nothing on the floor. Because I said, if any paper or anything on the floor, ain't nobody getting no treat. So, you know, they picking up everything now, you know, but. So I walked to the last seat of the bus and I looked, it was a whole slash in the back of the seat. How did they slash it like that? Was it with a knife? Was it with scissors? What have you, right? And so I was like, I said, oh, you know, I was acting like a kid. I said, oh, I said, who did that? And they said, it wasn't me. I know who generally sits back there, you know, because they generally sit in the same spots every day, right? And so I said, I'm writing all y'all up back here. I wasn't, but I don't believe in writing the kids up because I believe in every kid going to school, you know, especially kids like us. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't write them up. I just made idle threats. And so, so by the time I got to the bus company, they was on the radio. Bass, I see Mike. I said, go ahead, Bass. They said, the one of the kids on the bus know who cut the thing up, and I was like, well, okay, that's fine. They said, don't write. I said, you know, I ain't doing no paperwork. It's Friday. I'm going home and do me, you know. But anyhow, so that Monday morning, okay? Monday morning. Now, mind you, I was doing the elementary route because they was going to the same school. I would pick the middle school up first, and then we come back and pick up the elementary, right? So, mind you, the middle school girl wasn't even supposed to ride my bus that morning because it's transporter anyway, right? And so She gets on the well, the daddy was he went to 50 some kids getting on this bus. The daddy with his two daughters. The daddy with the two daughters was waiting at the back. I knew it was gonna be some static because I already undid my seatbelt. I knew it's a big nigga, right? So he's like ninja. If this one here and this one here say they didn't do it, they didn't do it. I said, sir, first of all,
Mike, why did you let the dad? Why did you let the dad? I was about to say the patient. Why did you let the dad on the bus?
He was the last one with, he waited in the last of the line for the kids. I told you so. 50 some kids getting on the bus. He was the last one with his two daughters to get on the bus. He wasn't supposed. Now he wasn't getting on the bus to ride. He was getting on there to talk shit. And so I said, sir, I had to protect these babies. And I said, sir, did they get a violation? He said, that's besides the point. If I said this one here and this one, I said, sir, you cannot abort a school bus. It's a felony to get on a school bus.
Because he don't got a background check and he's not a staff.
Right? No, right. And so he said, I said, sir, so I got on my radio. I said, I see Mike the bass. They said, go ahead. I said, but I can let them, I keyed my mic so they could hear all the, stuff he was saying, right? I mean, being this is what your two daughters are learning. And then you wonder where they get it from. It's sad and it's very unfortunate. But until when he said, because I'm at this point, I had turned my radio and they said, where are you at, Ice Michael? I told him I need safety. And at this point, we thumping. Because I told you got to get off my bus. Because these babies is my responsibility.
So you actually was fighting the man?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
He was a big ninja. Anytime when I was on my radio, he said, ninja, I live in Orange. What is that to say in front of your two daughters that you live in Orange? And you proud of that? But he didn't know me, right? But
you should have told him that you should have told him about Orange,
right? But I got him up off of there. He must have pushed me back. He pushed me back in the the seat, and I must have kicked him so hard in his scrotum, baby. I know he I ain't lying. I'm a little guy, but I used to ride my bike. I used to ride my bike to work and stuff, put it on the metro and then ride to the job and stuff. So my calves was strong, you hear me? So I know he's still that. I ain't lying. So anyway, they were trying to make me press charges on the dude and stuff. But wait. So now they're like, Ice Mike, where you at? At this point, I'm fighting. I can't respond, but they knew when I said when I got on the radio where I was at. And baby, when I tell you, Queen, that them sisters was hopping curbs to get down to the projects. I'm sure they, Queen, I'm not lying. Them girls, but by the time they came, I already shut my bus out. But I told you once I kicked him, it was over. And he probably still laying down there in the middle of the curb. But but them women down there, but I did a variety of things at the bus company. I fueled the buses.
Hey, Vaughn. Michael, you have had you know what? You should write a book just on the
you know what, Queen, I did write a book when I had what's the name of it? Outlook.com. They stole my book. Now, mind you, I had used the same password. Yeah, Outlook.com. Remember? Outlook.com, like Gmail. Yeah, they stole my book. I had it because I edited it and everything. And
she want to know, do they still drug test for those positions, Michael?
I'm pretty sure they do because when
in
they
my state they kind of stop drug tests. I mean, you can the boss can request it, but it ain't no requirement.
But I'm gonna tell you this: if they suspect that you on mood altering substances, they can have safety come They can have
Oh,
safety
thank you, Vanessa 2025. Thank you. I appreciate that.
They can have safety come, pull that bus over, or no, DOT, okay? DOT, like the Highway Patrol, DOT. They can pull that bus over and safety gonna be behind them, and they gonna take you to the what's the name of that place? Whatever it is, it's where they do urine test. And so yes, they do drug tests. So I don't know what, but yes, they do drug tests. So I don't know what made you say that, or do you think I'm a dope fiend or something, or whatever?
No, I was reading the comment, Michael.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, she said, do they still drug test for those positions? No shade. And I felt it was kind of shady, but baby, I still drive the bus when I want to. Okay, a brilliant Libra. No shade, baby. But yes, it's still drug test. There's your answer.
Okay. Well, I want to say this, Michael, off rip. I ain't hold no animosity about you or anything like that. I think that you are so entertaining. I you know, sometimes if I'm up, because you be up like 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I will come and I'll be in the bushes sometimes in your chat. And I also want to say thank you so much for defending me, being one of I can say defending, but you know, just advocating and saying your opinion. I heard you. And I want to say thank you. No shade, but it sounds like the drug test is not happening. Oh Lord, now I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I don't know what's happening with
but let me address her right quick. What's her name? A brilliant Libra, with all due respect, ma'am. You know, if we're on here having an intelligent conversation, and you are one of those kids' mothers that's very disrespectful, defiant, and have no self-respect for themselves, ma'am. I mean, if we on her, we didn't come on her with no smoke. I didn't come on her with no smoke. That just goes to show you what type of person you are, and you need to look in the mirror.
Well, so Michael, I am going to give you the liberty to express yourself, you know, to respond to that comment on your channel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe further, you know what I'm saying? Like further had a conversation with her, because on this channel, I'd have had just about enough drama as I can stand for these last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I appreciate you so much for having me up. And
thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. I do want to say everybody's welcome over here. This is a safe space. This is a neutral space over here. And so I'm quite sure there's going to be further conversations about this. Brilliant. I do know that you have been on over here on this channel. I thank you so much for your support. It sounds like that maybe you might have some type of disagreement with him. That is between you and him. I'm not gonna get into that. You said please don't take offense. I have kids and I just asked the questions that are on my mind. I am not a disrespectful parent, but you be up. Oh, this is directed to him. Okay. Now, brilliant. You already know Michael's probably going to address it on his channel. So I'll let that lay where it lays. Okay. All right. But both of you guys are welcome to come and support Queen and Queen anytime. And I want to say thank you so much. God knows I do. I want to say thank you. Everybody that has had a voice in this situation that I was in, I want to say thank you, because people don't have to say a mumbling word on your behalf at all. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no problem. No problem. A brilliant, no problem at all. Okay. And I'm so sorry, guys, that we got off topic, but there was tons of information, tons of good information about the topic tonight. If you want to start at the beginning and watch the live, there was tons of good information and nuggets concerning marriage. Just remember at the end of the day that you guys are each other's best friends, and that no one should be breaking the line. You all should be holding the line in your marriage. You guys should be protecting each other in your marriage. And you are his keeper and he is your keeper. And nobody should be bad mouthing each other, your mate, in their presence. You understand what I'm saying? And when it's time to stand up for yours, stand up for yours. And I'm gonna stand up for mine every single time. Every single time. I am going to stand up for mine. You understand what I'm saying? And he tells me all the time, okay. He tells me every time, just leave it, just leave it, just leave it. Because he's not a confrontational person. He's like, just leave it, just leave it, just leave it. But sometimes you got when there's just so many bold-faced lies and so much derogatory verbiage and the vulgarness of it, I'm gonna have to defend mine. I'm gonna do it every single time. Okay. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the show. I know we kind of got off track again, but listen, I don't turn nobody away. Everybody is welcome over here, and feel free to come over here. Everybody is safe over here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. If you want to sow a seed over here, $CLAYLING. Vaughn, I wish you could have came on up. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna do it again because I wanted to get your perspective as a married woman. How do you all nurture and facilitate a healthy marriage? I feel like since we had that leg way. I think I'm going to tackle it again. And make sure that you up here. You said ask, not faking typo. Oh, it's a typo. Always enjoy your show. Thank you, Brilliant. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. This year I told y'all at the beginning of the year that I was going to be bringing y'all good content. And I was gonna get to 1K, and I did it, guys. I'm super stoked. Now we got to get those watch hours up. So y'all continue to rock with me, and I am going to be continue to bring you all some new stuff and new content and new features to the channel. Y'all know every once in a while I will do a new feature. Y'all remember when I had the cartoon series, the Queenies? Remember I had the cartoon series on my channel? Do you understand that I did all of the graphics for that cartoon? I did most of the characters and most of the voices for that cartoon. I did. Thank you. And the Queenies was a good cartoon series. Y'all can go back and watch it in your spare time. It's not for kids. It's not a kid cartoon. And then you remember I did the Queen Please. What we was doing, it was similar to Strawberry Letters. So y'all, I try to change it up for you guys. I really do. And y'all let me know what y'all want to see and what kind of features you would like to see. We are doing, for y'all that's on here tonight, we are doing a ugly t-shirt contest for Christmas, and it is going to be a cash prize given away for the best ugly t-shirt Christmas. And you got to have red and green in your on your in your t-shirt, in your design, and you got to have on a Santa hat. Now I'm thinking about doing this. Let me see. Let me look at my Oh, hold on, y'all. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me look at my calendar real quick so y'all can get a date. I mean, and these t-shirts got to stand out. They got to stand out. I don't see no junk. No. Okay, let's see. I don't understand this. Guys, my house is smelling like Thanksgiving. Y'all know I was sick for 2 weeks. So I cooked my food today. I got dressing in the oven right now, browning. I got me some chicken, some baked chicken, and I did me some macaroni and cheese. I ain't do no vegetables. So I said I'm gonna do a salad. But the house is smelling good. Yeah, that's all I got to tell y'all. And I put a picture of my macaroni and cheese on my community wall because I was to let y'all know I ain't playing about that macaroni and cheese. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see. So y'all can get y'all into y'all mind what y'all want to do. Calendar. Where is my calendar? It's always something with this phone. They always switching the apps and stuff. Like, why y'all switching the apps? Okay, so this is November. We're in December. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, this. I had to look up at the thing. Like, this is December, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's do it Saturday the 13th. December Saturday the 13th is when we'll do the, and I'm going to put it in my calendar so I can know, the t-shirt contest. Okay. And Vaughn has already committed. Scorpio Mama has already committed. I'm looking for more people to commit. Y'all see me looking? You know, I'm looking for some more people to commit. And if you are going to commit, just go ahead and put, you know, when this live close out, go on in the comments. When the live close out, because you know they don't let us see the live, the comments right off when it close. So when I shut this live down, you go in the comments and say, I'm going to be in a t-shirt contest. What happened? What did I miss? I stepped away for a minute. What happened with Michael? Now, see, Vanessa, listen, you're going to have to go back to the replay. You're going to have to go back to the replay because I wasn't in it. My name is Ben and I wasn't in it. You have to go back to the replay. Right now we're talking about the t-shirt contest. Would you like to be a part of the t-shirt contest, the ugly t-shirt contest for Christmas? It's going to be a cash prize. Would you like to design your own ugly t-shirt? You got to have red and green in there. And it's going to be December. What did we say? What did we just say? Ain't that something? December the 13th. If you're going to be in an ugly t-shirt contest when this live closed down, put in the comments, I want to participate so that we can know how many participants we're going to have. Okay. All right, guys. I love y'all. I am getting ready to get off this live. Do something nice for somebody. If it's nothing but saying hello, opening the door for them, helping them with their groceries, saying a silent prayer for them, slipping something in their hand. If you see a family that's doing something or having something less than you this holiday, reach out to them. Do something, like, share, subscribe this live, because guess what? You reap what you sow. It's gonna come back to you tenfold. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Charles is on her live today. She said, I can't stand when people say come back tenfold. The reason why we say that, Charles, is because it's scriptural. And that means it's going to multiply. And the Bible says you reap what you sow. And that could be good or bad. No, but you're going to reap it. So when we say come back to you tenfold, that means multiple blessings. We want multiple blessings to come back from that one little thing that you did. We want multiple blessings to come back to you because you deserve it, right? This is your Queen Clayleen saying be great. Bye-bye.